They're a lot cheaper than a modern car, and you don't need to worry about paying someone every month to have it, and then after 3 years give it away and you've got nothing in return. If you buy the right car, they'll go up in value. Sadly these don't. The bit on top is known as tinware. So, here mister, can I have a look at your engine, mate? Don't know what accent that was, I apologise. Hi, welcome to Rusty Bottom Workshop. Today I'm going to do a bit of a beginner's guide to identify parts on an internal combustion engine. Nothing modern, just the older cars, anything without fuel injection or any fancy electronics. Just the way I like it, because that's really all I understand. So if you're new to classic cars, or you may be interested in buying one or working on one, hopefully I'll be able to give you an idea what it's like. And after more or less 40 years, I'm still messing around with them. I never learn, do I? Come on, let me come and show you some bits and bobs. Right, let's start with one of the simplest engines you can ever work on. Classic Fiat 500 air-cooled. Okay, so this is a dynamo. There should be a belt there, but you had to take it off because this is seized at the back. That's a video for another time. But that's the dynamo. That's a petrol pump. Puts petrol on this side, up through here. There's the left petrol filter that goes into this, which is the carburetor. This is an air filter, and the air gets sucked in through this pipe into the carburetor. This attachment is from the accelerator pedal inside the car. These are spark plugs. You only have 2 on a 500. That's a distributor. That's a ignition coil. This is just me, I just put like a little heat shield around. They don't normally come with those. I'll tell you about that another time. These are ignition leads that go to the spark plugs that I showed you a minute ago. You top up the engine oil here. You check that's a dipstick. You pull out and check the level of oil in there. That on a Fiat 500 is a centrifugal oil filter, which is a really neat design, a way of filtering the rubbish out of engine oil. Very simple idea, but very good. These are exhaust pipes, one on this side, one on the other side, and the tailpipe goes to a all-in-one exhaust system under there. And that's about it, really. That's what a Fiat 500 engine is like. Got another engine for you. This one's on my 1973 VW T2 camper van. So we'll start at the side here, start at the top. That's an air filter. It's not a standard one, that's someone fitted that. I've never liked it. I need to put an original one back on. That's the carburetor. That's the fuel pump. That's the distributor. That's an ignition coil. This one has got an alternator rather than a dynamo, and I'll explain the difference of those another time. Which is spun round via the belt, which runs off the pulley there. That's where you top up the engine oil. Got spark plug leads, these that go from the distributor, and they go from either side. There's 2 on this side, and there's 2 on that side there as well. A bit grubby in here because I haven't used this fan for quite a few years. It's been sat around. That's a leisure battery on that side, and the usual battery for the van will go on this side. There's the engine oil dipstick there, so you can check to see how much oil you've got. And this housing at the back is a fan housing where the air is blown over the engine and it comes out onto here and onto here. And we'll discuss that in more detail in the following video. The ubiquitous air-cooled VW Beetle. This one's mine this one's 1971. It's a 1300 Deluxe, which means it's got go faster chrome stripes on the side. And I've had this since 1988, 89, something like that. Kept it all these years. It's my second ever car. Absolutely love it. Moved house. Everywhere I've moved house, I've taken it along with me. And ironically, in about 1990, when it went off the road, I said it's going to be my retirement project, and I think I predicted that for myself. But anyway, we're not talking about now. Let's have a look at the engine. Okay, so you've got the air filter there. It sucks the air in through there. Goes into that. That's called the carburetor. That is a fuel pump. That's the distributor. That's the ignition coil. That's the dynamo in this case. Sometimes you can have alternators. That's a pulley wheel that moves the dynamo around when the engine runs. That's where you top up the engine oil. That's an electronic temperature gauge actually for this oil, but actually it's also a dipstick as well. That's just me being flash in about 1989 when I bought it. And that's about it really. You've got these are air in the air and the fuel is mixed together, and it goes down these intake pipes that go to the side there. I'm not sure you can see. And they go into the chambers, which on this type of engine are at the side, because this is what's known as a flat 4 engine, so it's got 4 combustion chambers, but they're positioned horizontally because it's a very low engine, a small engine, just for space saving really. And so the ignition leads go from here down there. Spark plugs there, I'm not sure you can see them down there. There's 2 on that side, there's 2 on the other side. This car hasn't moved for a while, so it's a bit grubby. I don't normally let them go into this kind of state, but life gets in the way. And if you're into old cars, if it was me, I would suggest you buy yourself a Beetle or a Morris Minor. They are probably the 2 simplest cars to work on, just to get familiar, and so you become a bit more conscious of how things work. Once you've cut your teeth on these kind of cars, you can work your way up to, I don't know, Bentleys. So this is my 1957 Bentley S-Type. Slightly different to a VW Beetle or a Fiat 500, I know, but the engine principles are exactly the same. We're not going to go into details of what everything does in this video. It's just to give you an idea what things look like. When you say, "Here mister, can I have a look at your engine, mate?" I don't know what accent that was, I apologise. Right, so this is the engine. It's probably the nearest I'm going to get to a Spitfire engine from same builders, Rolls-Royce. This is an air filter that feeds air down this inlet pipe to that, and they're called carburetors. Carburetors have got fuel chambers that side and that side, then they're fed by a fuel pump which is under the car. Little thing there is called an automatic choke, so it automatically regulates depending on the ambient temperature how much fuel it needs to give the engine, whether it's a wintry day or a hot summer's day. Most likely a wintry day, we don't get many summer's days in the UK. These 2 chambers are a little bit on the extreme side. They're actually just reservoirs for the brake fluid. That is a fuse box. That is the actual regulator for the dynamo on this car. That is something else. That's not, you don't normally get that on other cars. We'll come to that another time. Anyway, so let's carry on. So you have a radiator, yes, now this one's warm because I've just come for a drive in it. So that's a radiator, which we don't have on air-cooled engines. I don't actually like water-cooled cars, I prefer air-cooled cars because they're much simpler to work on. Anyway, so you have your water reservoir in there. That goes in there, that's a water pump, which turns the fan round, and lots of other pulleys down there, which we'll talk about later on. Let's go around on the other side. In this particular case, the bonnet is split into two. It's just the way they did it in those days. Handy for servicing and also for safety, because as you're driving along, the bonnet's not going to fly up if there's something wrong with the catch. I have actually gone to work in this car in the past to work in Manchester. I've completely forgotten. I forgot to put the latch down on this. See, I didn't drive with the bonnet open like this, but I only noticed it wasn't actually locked into position when I got there, and it's fine, everything was fine. Now this side of the engine looks a little bit more interesting than the other side. So that's known as a rocker cover. That's where you fill your engine oil up. It's a nice little thing. There you go, it's lovely, isn't it? I keep forgetting the engine's actually quite warm because I've just come back, so get myself. That is a distributor, and these are spark plugs. We've got 6 of them in this engine because it's a straight 6, and a straight 6 engine literally means it's got 6 combustion chambers that are in a straight line like this. Very nice design. That's the ignition coil. That's a washer bottle reservoir. This is actually a reservoir for the power steering, because this car has got power steering. Not bad for 1957, eh? They didn't all have them, but I'm glad the owner ticked that box as an option. There's your exhaust, one set of exhaust. It's split into 2 banks of cylinders of 3, here and here. That's your wiper motor. That's actually a vacuum chamber, we'll talk about that another time, something really to do with the engine. And this is where you top up your radiator. I won't open that because it's hot. But yeah, so other than having a radiator and a water jacket around there, this engine is more or less the same as the other engines that I've shown you. The only difference is the way that the engine is cooled, but we'll cover that in another video. Really, that's all I want to show you, is just don't be afraid. They're only things, it's not rocket science. They're very straightforward cars to work on. If I show you the engine on the Mustang, you'll run a mile, because I do. I don't even look after that engine, I take it to the dealers. More fool me. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll catch up on the next one, where I go into a bit more detail what all these individual parts do. Bye for now.